What is going on, YouTube? This is DBZ439 coming at you with a really exciting deck profile. That is my third place Kashtira Odion deck profile. I recently got third place at this past Dallas Regionals, and there was a grand total of 9 rounds, and I won 8 rounds. It should have been 9 rounds, and I'll get to that in a second. But I did win 7 out of 9 die rolls, which was very fortunate on my side. So I just wanted to quickly go through my rounds, and then I'll get started with the deck profile, what changes I make, and why I chose certain cards. Starting with round 1, I played against Pure Mitz, and next round I played against, in round 2, Crystron Horus. Round 3, 4, and 5, I played Maliss. Round 6, I played White Forest Azamina, and this is the round where I lost, in which I should have won. Just quickly, what happened was my opponent had Vengeance Dragon, and I activated Triple Tactics Talents. He chained the first effect to move my Kashtira Fenrir into the spell trap zone, and then I took control of his Vengeance Dragon. And the question was I able to use Vengeance Dragon's first effect again, since it switched sides? And so we called the judge didn't know the initial ruling, so the assistant head judge came in and ruled in favor of the other player. But then as we progressed like 4 or 5 moves afterwards, he came back and stated that I was correct and that I was able to use Vengeance Dragon's effect afterwards. But he refused to to revert back game state. And so because of that, I lost that duel, which resulted in the match loss. So I was quite unfortunate. And then round 7 I played against Mitsurugi Ryzeal. And then I played Maliss again. This is against Israel, who was the back-to-back champion for 2 recent regionals, and I beat him. And finally, I beat Mitsurugi Ryzeal. And so, yeah, as you can see, I beat all Maliss and Mitsurugi Ryzeal players, which are the best players. I didn't play against a single Blue Eyes, which is quite fortunate because this deck has a tough matchup against that. But other than that, I felt like, the deck functioned really well. There are some things I need to mention that had some sort of conflictions. In terms of like the spell traps, clogging and whatnot, and I'll get to that as I go in the deck profile. So without any further ado, as you can see, got the orange deck box and the mat right here. And yeah, let's get on with the deck profile. We'll start with the main deck. So the main engine of the deck, the best card, the man with the mark, allows you to search or dump on summon, and then he protects your stuff. Also is a level 4, so that's really cool. Next I play 3 Anubis the Last Judge. Pretty much just searches the man with the mark, and then also he can summon itself from the hand or graveyard by shuffling stuff back. There is an argument to cut this down to 2, because if you open man with the mark and this card at the same time, like, you conflict yourself, because then you have 2 normal summons in your hand. So it's like, so I was thinking about bumping this card actually up to 2. And I know a lot of people say it's a brick, but it's a low-key, somewhat of an extender. Because if you control Temple of the Kings, you can special summon it for free and then search another Temple of the Kings card. And so it can act as a body. It can get rid of monsters with this inherent, or its effect to in damage step to destroy things. So that comes up a lot. So I was thinking about bumping this to 2 and cutting this to 2. I haven't fully tested it, but it's just something to think about. Next I played the Kashtira engine. So I played 2 Unicorn. This was probably one of the MVPs. Being able to rip people's extra deck, do hand trap baits. I compare this engine to the Primal engine to Blue Eyes, because the idea is you need something to hand trap bait, and so Ether Barrel Dragon does that. Eats the ashes, the imperms and whatnot, and then you just use your mark and then go full combo. Also, it searches Birth, so you can use Birth to set a card. So. But another problem I face is that you'll have Temple of the Kings and Birth face up, so it clogs up 2 spaces, so you only have 3 slots to put your trap cards down. So that is an issue, but the idea behind the Kashtira is not only its big bodies and grind guides are very good with a very big hand trap format, but they're very resilient as well. And so that is it. So there's 2 Unicorns there, 1 Kashtira Fenrir. Usually I would play 2, but I actually cut it down to 1. Because I feel like Fenrir is not that strong right now going first, and going second you only just need 1. So you search, you summon him, you search Unicorn gets Birth to bring back Fenrir if you need to. So that was the idea behind that ratio. That could change in the future. Next we do play 1 Nib. This hand trap ratio is a little interesting. You play the 1 Nib because you don't want to conflict with the Kashtira engine, but also like if they Charmy challenge, you want to get to a Nib just to have something to hinder the board. Next, we do max on triple Purulia because we just wanted to play high impact stuff, and Purulia is a high impact hand trap. So a lot of the times, what I would do with an extraneous Mulcharmy Purulia was either I'd have to set it and like trigger the field spell, which is pretty sad, or normal summon it with the Unicorn, link it to Silhouette Rabbit to set the Apophis the Serpent, and then you bring back the Unicorn with the Birth. So you actually have a line of play there. So I thought that was pretty interesting. It's also level 4, so you can XYZ4 if you need to. Then we played the triple Fuwalos. The Charmies went hard this event. So I feel like this hand trap ratio is perfect. We run a grand total of 13. Next, we do run triple Droll and Lockbird. It's pretty mandatory. It does conflict with Fuwalos, but there is a line where if you open both of these, there's a way to interact with both of them. So there is that. So Droll and Lockbird is pretty necessary against the Mitsurugi matchup especially. And then 3 Ash Bosses to nullify the Charmy. So that's it for the monsters. We don't play Imperm. Imperm's actually like a card that I cut for this event. This is the first time I've never played Imperm before. I just feel like it's a little low impact. And then if you put in the spell trap zones where the trap monsters come out, then they come back to the spell trap zone. So you don't want to have that interference. So next we do play the Anguish pattern. It's your mini detonator, and then the 1 Apophis. Some people play 2. I think that's incorrect. And you want to minimize the amount of bricks that you have in your deck while making your deck as much consistently as possible. Because what happens in your combos, like you'll have these 2, you bring it back with the fusion, and then when you activate this again, you put back the second one. So at that point, you don't need the second one. And then also, and then there's another card I run in my side deck that you'll see. So one of each of these, the negators in the form of Swamp Deity, and these are the only traps I play. I don't play Dominus Purge. That is something I will consider in the future, but the deck space is so tight, I wanted to keep it to 40, and this is what worked for me. So still testing with that. Next, we do play 3 Treasures of Kings. Obviously, this is like the best, one of the most custom field spell cards right now. Allows you to send on activation, and then you can soft once per turn to search. And it's also Temple of the Kings while it's face up in the field. So it's really good. Next, we do play Double Planet. And then people run like 1 of this and like 2 Fenrirs. But I did opt to play the second one because of multiple reasons. Because if you open this with set rotation becomes dead. But also it gives you the flexibility. So it gives you a 3rd copy of Unicorn or a 2nd copy of Fenrir. So I thought that was pretty good for me. It could change in the future, and then the 1 Birth. This is also really good against the Fiendsmith engine, and it hits Mitsurugi cards as well. So in my final match, I just played Kashtira Birth control and stuff, and it was enough to beat him. So that was pretty cool. And then the awesome one-ofs, Pot of Prosperity. Your extra deck doesn't really matter too much. Talents, the 1 Terraforming, the Crossout. Set rotation and Call by the Grave, all amazing one-ofs. They're one-ofs for a reason because they're broken. And then finally, the 1 Temple of the Kings. There are times where you can play around Droll if you do have Temple of the Kings and stuff, because then you can summon your traps from your spell trap zone, and then reset it with Apophis the Serpent, the fusion monster. So in grind games, this deck is really good. And that's the whole point of the deck. You're just trying to grind and try to make simplified game states, so it's easy for you to crack boards and whatnot. And so yeah, we'll go into the extra deck here real quick. We played 2 of this. There was a point where I was going to play 3 because in ultra grind games it does come up, but also Kashtira Unicorn is a card sometimes. So, but this it's not a hard once per turn, so you can make multiples, set multiples back, and when a trap is activated, you can pop the card, so that's really good. Next, we do play Slayer targets, so these 2 right here, and more to come later. Axis Celine, this came up a lot. When you do Man with the Mark and Silhouette Rabbit, you can link into Celine, and Celine bring back the Mark, and Mark can trigger its effect again if you haven't used it that turn already. So this gets really big, and you can pop some things, so that's really cool. Silhouette Rabbit, obviously set, stuff. And then on activation, you pop a spell or trap, and it can't be destroyed in battle, so it's really good. SP for obvious reasons. IP, I think I only made this once, but when you go full combo, you need to be able to unlock space in your monster zone. So IP does that, and to get you SP. So one card I do consider in the future playing is Underworld Goddess. Don't know what to cut yet, but yeah. Then the one Link Spider, the one Malong for the ultimate Slayer target, one Cowboy. I went into this a lot, not in this tournament, but just in general, to go for game. So that's really good. One Gallic Granite to search the Heavenly Prisons, which is really good. The one Aggregator for the Slayer target as well, and then the one Sky Crisis. This came up a lot. I might even bump it up to 2 because of how good it is, breaking boards and whatnot. So, yeah, that's it for the side. And now moving on for the extra deck, and now for the side deck, the one Heavily Prisons, there's that infamous combo with the Grand Knight to search this to get you any trap. So you pretty much, like, if you go full combo, you search the trap that turn skips your opponent and then ultimately just wins you the game. 3 Meows, this came up quite a bit against the Maliss matchups in particular. People would just pass on half boards and whatnot, or they'll just take the challenge and they would just lose. So that was really cool. The 3 Lancia, obviously, 4 of those Malice players and whatnot. The 3 Slayers, I'm going to cut these cards. I'm thinking about playing Salesbane instead. It serves the dual purpose of, calling Droll or just hindering or stopping a problematic monster going second. These did not come up too much, and it sucks up a lot of extra deck space. So yeah, definitely cutting those. The one Duster. The one Embodiment and the one The Verdict. This card, it was pretty meh. The idea was like, you get free value when the Apophis the Serpent gets sent to the grave to have this, and when you have Pattern, you get extra pop, extra body, and whatnot. But not really necessary. Verdict is also pretty cool because if you have the multiple pieces in your hand, having this as a finishing piece is really cool to stop the spell trap, because a lot of people do play Duster, Lightning Storm, and then also Burning for game. Lastly, we do play one Mischief of the Gnomes to set off the Heavily Prisons, and one Imperial Ironwall to also set off the prisons. But ideally, I might switch to like a Sanctum and then like one more trap in the form of like DDG, and then play some like thrust stuff in the side, so that when people do Droll or Charmy you also have a way to set those cards and turn skip your opponent. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I know it's a little bit long of a deck profile, but if you have any questions or any ideas that you want to share, please feel free to post it down below in the video. Just one thing I wanted to mention, some people ask me why I'm not playing Fiendsmith Engine. It takes up too much deck space. Ideally, I do want to play it, but I just don't have the space for it. But if you have any ideas to combine the Kashtira engine with the Fiendsmith engine, I think that would be pretty cool, but it would sever the hand trap lineup. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that real quick. If you have any more questions, feel free to post them below. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of the day.